If you have a hankering for the classic RPGs of the SNES era combined with a vibrant, modern energy, then you need to check out My Familiar, the upcoming turn-based buddy cop RPG from developer Chintzy Inc. Things kick off when you're isekai'd from Texas into the strange streets of Wish City, where the townsfolk are monsters, corruption is king, and most importantly, you can see a buff duck punch a gangster sheep, which sounds like a secret code for something illegal. Explore the gorgeous pixel art world while you fight, flee, and aggressively wrap your way through dysfunctional demons and flashy, over-the-top turn-based battles, all set to the dulcet tones of an excellent soundtrack. Head on over to My Familiar Steam page, wishlist the game, and get your hands on the demo today.
And, theoretically, it's faded to us now, Marty.
Did you unmute us?
I think people should be able to hear us.
Amazing.
People should be able to hear us. People should be able to hear the Radigan's theme. Spoiler alert for the credit music of Elden Ring. One of the most badass moments of Elden Ring is, you get to the final boss and the theme that plays during the menu sequence starts, and you're like, fuck yes.
That's what that's from.
That's from. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Hi. I think people can hear us.
Hello. Welcome, everyone.
How's our levels? It's been a hot minute since I've streamed. So we're just going to wait till someone either says everything is broken or everything is cool. Those are our only two options.
There's nothing in the middle. Absolutely nothing in the middle. You know what? No one's complaining about the audio, so usually that's the time.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'll crank me just a little bit, but I talk loudly, so I'll keep it cool. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to I'm streaming, and it was either like, you could play like a new game or whatever you wanted to play, and with the DLC finally announced and coming up, it was my excuse to hop back in and stream some Elden Ring. So that's what we're gonna do.
Like, we need an excuse. However, the excuse was appreciated. That's coming soon.
It's coming real soon. So this was a character I was working on just for fun, which was like, I'll just play as Boggart.
Sure.
And if you can see, here, let me get into the light here so you can see the glory of my shirtless man here. Oh, look at him.
For folks who don't know, Boggart is the Shrimp Man. I only knew him as Shrimp Man. He's the man who, I believe, in the lakes of Liurnia, you can find him shrimping.
And the first place you find him is the lakes of Liurnia, and he's selling some shrimp. You find him later where he sells the good shrimp. I will not find him later because I killed him to get his stuff.
But now he's bequeathed you his shrimp business.
I did.
So now you have to go about the world selling shrimp.
I did. I stole some of his shrimp, or I bought as many shrimp as I could. His boiled prawn. But I only have 2 left. I only have 2 boiled prawn left. But yeah, I got that shrimp, yo.
And right off the bat, George Lucas, welcome back to the tip jar. Shai Halud, same to you. Lisa Nalkeep. Billy, welcome to the tip jar. Have you duned yet?
I have not Dune 2'd yet. We had a grand plan while we were in Washington D.C. where it's like, the way we schedule adventures now is one shoot day, the next day is prep day, then a shoot day, then a prep day, and Omar and I have a lot of characters to make, maps to build, stuff to write. But
whereas the crew the cast kind of got to have those days for funsies.
So the cast just gets to go do whatever they want to do. But what we were saying is, we think that like we can just take the morning and afternoon to prep, and then we will have plenty of time for sightseeing. We can all see Dune 2 because I really wanted to see Dune 2. And no, I got exactly 1.5 hours of sightseeing time in my entire DC trip.
What site did you see? You saw the big monument, right?
I saw the Washington Monument. We saw the Congressional Building. And we saw a weird sculpture garden where we went and saw some modern art.
Did you have any Taft sightings? Anything Taft related? He's become a big figure on our streams. President Taft.
President Taft has become a big item.
Honestly, if you guys ask me, hey, what did we miss over the past few weeks while we were traveling and covering things? I would say that we have like a Taft-centric aura to most of our streams.
Really?
Yeah. He was a hell of a man, absolute hell of a man. After he was president, didn't have a lot of money, so he became Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. He still needed a job. That's how hard Taft loved working.
I mean, that's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I'm not a Taft hater. What I'm going to say is I'm Taft agnostic.
Sure. A lot of us start there, but there's some great literature out there I can hook you up with, and maybe you can spend the weekend reading up a little bit, and I think you'll change your colors.
All right. You know what?
Yeah.
I've always been a bit of a Teddy Rosie fan myself.
Ooh, sure. Yeah.
But I think that's
real.
basic. Like it's
It
basic
is a pretty yeah.
to oh yeah, Roosevelt's a badass. Like yeah, everyone thinks that. Guess what?
Yeah.
You're not special.
How come we call them teddy bears but not tafty bears? I'll take my comment off there. Also, we have so many donations. What happened? Where did everyone come from? There's so much money. Should we talk about all the money?
I mean, we should talk about all the money. Speaking of money, hey everybody, remember we got that whole Adventures Night card game Kickstarter out there.
Oh,
Save
my
some of that
lord.
money to pre-order the Adventures Night card game, the Red Dragon Inn version with Adventures Night. It's super fun.
I'm putting it in both the chats. All stretch goals have been unlocked. You buy it,
right.
you get it. It is. We got moped.
We got moped. Oh,
Yeah.
and I'm excited about the moped deck. I am more excited about the General Mayhem deck, which adds monsters and bad guys to Red Dragon Inn, which sounds super fun.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I am personally excited about. Oh crap! I got stuck on a wall.
There you go.
Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Okay, yeah. Let's get to some of these tips and whatnot. Tips and tricks.
You're gonna love this first one. Drew Wobster, $9.99 dono. Says it's his first dono. Nothing. Just didn't even say it. Just left a 10 on the counter and walked away.
Left a 10 on the
Hamilton,
nightstand.
if you will. I believe that's Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton.
Is he on the who on the $10?
Yeah, that's
bill?
Hamilton. Because Jackson's on the 20.
Jackson is on the 20. Yeah, and old honest Abe. He's on a penny.
An old honest. Aber's on the $5.
That's true. He probably got the penny and was like, "What the fuck,
guys? I'm worth more than this."
I'm very important. They made so many miniseries about me.
Daniel Day-Lewis, anyone?
There's a new one on Apple TV Plus, and right now called Manhunt. And it's like after he dies, what goes on? They got to hunt that man. They got to get him.
Oh,
can't get away with it. It was a crime. But Drew, thank you so much. Also, did you know on Super Chats now you can give them a thumbs up?
oh,
So Drew, I just gave you a thumbs up. You got 8 thumbs up on your Super Chat. So,
Wow.
I don't know how that works, but that's cool. Andrew Hickam with a £2 dono. Thank you so much, Andrew. I so wanted to see the Lyme disease conspiracy.
you did. You did see you saw as much as we saw, which is on the latest Best of the Worst. We watched a video on the Lyme disease conspiracy, which I did not know was a thing. Marty, we're in Wisconsin. We have to deal with deers and ticks, and as a result of that, Lyme disease. And apparently, there was a time in America in which there was a question on whether or not Lyme disease was real.
Oh, a Lyme disease truther.
Yes.
Unexpected.
So one of the videos we watched on the latest Best of the Worst was this trying to get the truth out there about Lyme disease. And we're watching this as people who know that Lyme disease is real, going like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah.
And it was
It's kind of terrifying that there's even that contingency. It's like that feels like a step beyond flat earthers, which already feels like, all right, guys, let's fuck it, let's cool it.
Let's cool it.
Let's cool it.
We can very easily prove the curvature of the Earth.
I miss when conspiracies used to be fun, and now it's just worrisome. Like they used to be great in the night. I always talk about this Coast to Coast AM, this old radio show that used to air like in the middle of the night by this dude named Art Bell.
Okay,
he lived out in the Nevada desert, and he would just talk about conspiracies and aliens and time travel and stuff.
Yeah,
and I just imagine he was like smoking heaters for like 7 hours a night, just talking about that stuff. And in like the '90s and everything, that was fun. That was the first time I ever heard Alex Jones in the '90s. He would just go on and he'd be like, lizard men killed JFK, and I was like, that sounds great. And now you can see what happened to a show like that, and I'm like, oh no, this isn't fun anymore.
That sounds great.
Yeah, great show. So yeah, in conclusion, thank you, Andrew Hickenbottom. That was a very nice donation. And Lyme disease is real.
Lyme disease is real. The worst part about the video, for those who haven't seen the video yet, is the production quality was so low on this Lyme disease truther video that even though we knew Lyme disease was real, we started to question it.
Sure,
it was just like
slippery slope.
This video makes Lyme disease look fake because it's trying to make Lyme disease look real.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You gotta stop trying so hard. If you're trying so hard, people are gonna be like, "What are you hiding?
What do you?
You seem so intent on proving that this is real. What are you hiding?"
Something's fishy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then do not even ask with $5 Canadian. Thank you so much. Psyched for the new Elden Ring DLC boss, Bible Baby, and her spittoon full of Jesus fluid.
Oh fuck. Bible Baby. Oh, Jesus Christ. Again, another video we watched on Best of the Worst. A Bible Baby, a grown-ass woman doing a baby voice for a good hour and 20 minutes.
You didn't watch the whole thing, did you?
Of course we watched the whole thing.
That sounds uncomfortable. I don't want to hear that baby voice from the Yeah.
It was terrible. It was all the way terrible.
Mm-hmm.
End of comment.
Yeah. The end.
Yeah.
Over in Twitch, Storm Templar resubbed at tier 1. Been a tier 1 member for 3 months. Thank you so much, Storm Templar. Jack, how did you get to 555 hours in this game and without streaming outside of those with the second folks? Without streaming outside of... Wait, you don't play this game outside of streaming?
I do play this game outside of
streaming.
streaming.
I figured that's how you get to 555. You just play the game a lot. I don't know. That happens, right?
Yeah, I just literally played and beat it. I mean, maybe at this point 10 times.
That's literally the next super chat was George Lucas 200 biddies. I'm curious about this. How many times has Jack beaten Elden Ring and the Souls games? Is this the most at 10, or have you beat like Dark Souls 1 more, you think?
Ooh, you know what? This is probably the most at. I'll say 10. I don't know if that number is correct, just because I played it so much.
Sure.
But let's say 10 just for funs. So this is probably the most, followed by Dark Souls 1, followed by Dark Souls 2, followed by Dark Souls 3. Bloodborne, I've only beat twice. So.
Do you think that it being on PS4 only is hampering that? If it was on PC, do you think you'd be doodling away in it?
If it was
That'd be a
PC,
great Steam Deck game. Could you imagine?
Oh my god, that would be beautiful. Elden Ring plays on the Steam Deck. Yes, if I were able to play that just with all of my other games, it would have significantly more playtime.
I think they just lost it. I think they had one central copy of the game and it was misplaced, and they're too embarrassed to just say, we can't do a remake, we can't do a port. We lost our only copy.
That at this point, that is the only thing that makes any amount of sense.
Yeah.
They are porting over so many PlayStation games. Why not? Why not this one?
Yeah, what are you hiding? This is the only conspiracy I can buy. Well, I could buy in two. Lyme disease isn't real. And what's going on with this? What's going on with this port? Yeah.
We've converted another. We've converted another to the Lyme disease. Isn't real fun.
Lazarus Orange gifted a sub over to Tiberius Kirk. Thank you so much, Lazarus Orange. And Incarnadine gifted a sub over to the community to Warrior Tribble. Thank you so much, Incarnadine. Warrior Tribble.
By the way, it's been a hot minute since I've played, and so my muscle memory is already kicking in so hard.
That's good. You kind of threw yourself in the deep end with this just very, very angry dog. You did just fine. He's just like a dog who did not want to be in that bathtub. You're trying to keep him in that bathtub, and he just keeps fucking darting around the bathroom.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I didn't. I need a shirt. Bonkert needs a shirt. And I think I know where the shirt is. So eventually I need a shirt, but I was like, I'll just fuck around in Raya Lucaria for a little bit, see what I can do. And I was able to kick a dog's ass, which, you know, obviously helpful.
Pure Pyro with a €2 dono. Has Jack played Balatro or Midnight Suns, the Marvel game? And then my sub question is, have you been playing anything else lately? That's my
Uh,
question.
I'm a Balatro boy. I downloaded Balatro and Pacific Drive before the DC trip,
Mhm.
thinking one would make like a good airplane game or a good we got 5 minutes kind of game. And I started with Balatro and didn't stop playing Balatro because I mean, as everyone knows by now, Balatro is beautiful. It's a beautiful, wonderful game. It became a bit of a running gag where those of us who were there, myself, Yahtzee, Nick, Jesse, Galena, Alex, were like literally all had our Steam Decks or
Next up,
laptops. And we would just huddle on couches talking Balatro strategies, which, by the way, was phenomenal. Because there's a ton of strategies. And for myself, I know I got caught in oh crap, wrong button. Right. I got caught in a little bit of a flush cycle where only flushes would do. And Alex was the one who was like, "Oh, you got to try this 3 of a kind strat." And now 3 of a kind is like, yeah, that's where it's at.
And Alex was a guides and wikis connoisseur for us back at the Escapists. That's a boy who knows how to play a game and then tell you how to play that game well.
Absolutely. So yeah, I listened to Alex, and it was a smart call because there was one point in which I hit like one hand got me 250,000 rupees or whatever the currency is there. I did after I want to say I'm 18 hours into Balatro and I'm kind of over it. But it is beautiful. It's a wonderful, beautiful game that really pares down roguelikes and just like how simple it is because it's just numbers. Like it's just numbers and poker, and it's so simple and addicting, and it breaks many rules. I feel it breaks many game design rules. In that you're supposed to hide the numbers, right? Like we're supposed to be fighting monsters, and you're supposed to be casting spells. But no, this is just numbers.
Yeah. It's kind of beautiful. I love it's what a great success story. Sold 1 million copies. Like no one knew this game existed, and then it just appeared, and it was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big Balatro boy. I played a little bit of Pacific Drive, but haven't gotten super into it because that's not a sit down and play for 10 minutes kind of game.
There you go. And that's all. You haven't. Are you gonna Dragon's Dogma? I got that Dragon's Dogma downloaded. I purchased it on the PlayStation. I got this Peach game, Princess Peach. It's Showtime. I played the demo, and like I said, it is worrisome how it seems geared towards just like actual children and babies.
Oh no!
So I'm gonna see how much I enjoy it. Yeah, and I'm not saying like I obviously love Nintendo games. I love that they're generally family friendly.
Yeah.
This one is like ooh,
it went too far.
This might be a little too far, which is great. Babies need games too. Babies need games
no.
too.
Why does Peach get the short stick here for every?
Again, it happened with her DS game as well, where she had her. It was like a puzzle platformer where she had to use her emotions.
Yes, the classic woman.
She's woman. Yeah, because she's woman with emotions.
Women have emotions.
Yeah. But yeah, what do we get? I'm also very excited for this 4D golf game. I keep telling people I bought it, and I just bought it this morning.
Yeah.
It was $20, which is a lot of money for a game I have not played and I've not heard anything about. But it's 4D golf, and I'm very excited. It's mini golf, but it's in 4D.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's by the same guy. He's like a game designer second, math man first.
Oh.
And he did this other game called what is it? Hyperbolica, which was a game that was set in a non-Euclidean world.
What?
Yeah, you know all about Euclidean worlds, but this was a non-Euclidean world. My mathers in the chat know what's going on.
You know what? You said that, and I was thinking non-Newtonian fluid. You know that fluid.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
I don't know what that is.
You do know what a non-Newtonian fluid is. That is like the quicksand-like fluid where if you punch it, it remains solid, but if you like softly put your hand in, it's liquid.
Mm-hmm.
That is what a non-Newtonian fluid is, and I thought he based a game in that, which I was like, oh, okay, but you said a whole different word, which I don't understand.
This is like it's like you're in an egg that is also like infinite. It's like you're in an infinite egg. So just imagine you're in an egg, but it's infinite.
I don't want to. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't.
It's like a regular egg, but it's forever.
I don't like that idea, and I don't like that thought.
I bet that's like a relatively popular fetish of like I want to pretend like I am in an egg, but forever. And I don't even mean forever like you're in the egg forever. I mean the egg goes on forever. It's an egg without ending. Aaron Sunshine. Dono. Over in our second wind Ko-Fi. Yeah, we have a Ko-Fi too.
What?
There's so many ways you can give us money. If you throw money, you could throw money in a bottle in the ocean or a larger lake.
Wait.
It'll probably come to one of us.
Eventually,
chances
it'll
are,
come to us.
chances are, 13 full timers. Absolutely, odds are in our favor that it will land on one of our shores. Aaron Sunshine, thank you so much. Praise the Jack, the little sun emoji.
Oh,
We're our sun man. Praise
that
man.
Sunman.
Yeah.
Sunman has been replaced by Jarman here.
Wow, Alexander just munching on Solair's lunch.
100%.
No.
Excuse you.
More donos. Oh my god, I already lost the donos. No, I'm bringing the donos back. Donos are back. Sheriff Bruce Lee with a $10 dono. Thank you, Sheriff Bruce Lee. Sorry if this has been asked before. If this hasn't, this is the first time. Any chance of having Rich Evans guest star or do previously recorded and having Rich and Yahtzee on a segment together would be gold.
That has never been asked before. Ever.
Yeah. You know what? I can feel this one. Ask Rich.
That's the correct answer.
Yeah. Also, if you want to ever get in contact with Rich, you can also put a note in one of those bottles too. So if it's money, we will find the bottles. If it is contacting Rich, you can put a note in a bottle and throw it in a body of water.
That's exactly how that works.
Yeah, you could throw it in the mighty Ganges River, and it'll eventually find its way to him. And then Drew, back with another $9.99 dono, this time with a message. Forgot to write anything, so here's another super. Jack, don't know if you've seen Highlander, but considering a challenge run where I only level up after beating bosses, a la The Quickening. Any other ideas?
Hell yeah.
Highlander, I mean, there can only be one. That's the big Highlander thing. I don't know how that works in this game, though.
So there can only be one, and what that means mechanically in the Highlander universe is after you kill another Highlander, you gain their powers and memory.
Mm-hmm. It's all, or you could play alongside Christopher Lambert. Is he alive?
Or Adrian. Oh, who's in the Highlander TV show? His name is Adrian something.
The guy from Entourage, Adrian Garnier.
No. Adrian Paul. Thank you, Booster Castile. Adrian Paul was in the TV show, and I preferred the Highlander. I mean, the Highlander movies are fun, but I really got into Highlander when I watched the Highlander TV shows, which were beautiful and wonderful. There is actually a series on my personal YouTube channel where I remix things to the theme from Highlander. I have made the Super Smash Brothers trailer, but Highlander. I've made Sonic the movie as Highlander, Friends as Highlander, the Friends intro, but Highlander, and I re-edit things to the Queen Highlander song. Here we are, born to be kings, we're the princes of the universe.
How come we don't have just a recurring weekly series where we put one of these up? Is it because each one would just be copyright stricken?
Yes, all of them have been copyright struck, and some of them have been taken down, but I love them all.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, for a while, actually, I think I was making like one a week, and I made like 4 or 5 of them. Because
that's a nice recurring bit. I like it.
Because I have a problem.
It's a good recurring bit. Lokwas, I thank you so much for the donut. For fun. Ranked Souls games based on fashion souls. Which games let you express your fashion souls the most and the least in the series?
I think, unfortunately, all games are equal as far as letting you express your fashion. And actually, that was a huge disappointment of mine in Elden Ring, because you meet Bach the tailor, And I was like, oh my God, they're going to let you like put dyes on your clothes. They're going to let you customize your clothes a little bit. And as a true fashion Souls aficionado, that got me really excited. But all he does is like give you a shorter cape sometimes.
Yeah, it was very disappointing. I thought the exact same thing. I thought there'd be full control of like color, of being able to like damage things, be like, I want the pristine version of this, or I want the
Yes.
torn up version of this.
And
Yeah.
very, very disappointing. Elden Ring, get it together.
Yeah. It feels like each of the Souls games sort of leaned a little bit further and further in. I feel like there's more options in like Dark Souls 3 than there are Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, I mean more options, but like basically it's all the same. Like headpiece, arm, headpiece, shirt, pants,
Yeah.
boot, arm. Sometimes like I think 2 has some incredible fashion souls. Elden Ring, everything just looks nicer, and so it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I need like 8. I need 200 more goddamn runes to level.
Did have any of the other Souls games you've played really excelled at that?
Fashion.
Like, have any of them done it better than, like, I don't know, you played like Lords of the Fallen, right? Did that too?
Lords of the Fallen. Thank you. By the way, I got so caught up in a true Soulsborne. I was like, no, we just talked about that, Marty. Don't be an idiot.
Fucking dummy.
Lords of the Fallen, which is my favorite non-Soulsborne Souls-like, bar none. It still to this day boggles my mind that the Souls community chose the stupid Pinocchio game. Come on.
Wait, are you anti-Pinocchio because you just haven't played it, or are you anti-Pinocchio because you just don't like? Someone on like one of my streams the other day, someone was asking about, and I was like, I know Jack really likes Lords of the Fallen, and I do not know if he has an opinion because I can't remember if he played.
I've not played it because I don't want to.
No, you said you don't like Timothy Chalamet. You don't want to play as Timothy Chalamet, right?
I don't want to play as Timothy Chalamet Pinocchio.
Yeah,
and that might be petty of me, but I don't want.
Is that why you refuse to see Dune 2?
No, actually, I really like Timothy Chalamet as an actor. I think he's a very good actor. I just don't want to be him. So no, I'm really excited for Dune 2. But so yeah, Lords of the Fallen. Not only can you has amazing outfit options, great fashion, but you can add dyes to any piece of the fashion. So you can actually make non-matching pieces of fashion match with the dyes as if it was supposed to. Phenomenal fashion.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah. So there. But the Souls community, the YouTubers, all went Pinocchio. Horse hockey.
Yeah. Absolute Orzagi.
Absolute Orzagi.
Eric, thank you so much for the dono. I got Dragon's Dogma 2 last night for the Switch for $3. I guess I can't wait more. I guess I can wait more, and I hope the pun was read correctly. It was Dragon's Dogma TOO. Because I said I got Dragon's Dogma, and he said he got Dragon's Dogma 2. And it's on sale for Switch for $3. And I also imagine that game probably does not run well on Switch because it didn't run well on anything else.
I was going to say, that ran like shit on my very nice gaming PC.
Yeah. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's like one of those things where it's so bad it'll like find like a partner in crime in the Switch and be like, okay, we can work together now.
Like it will run at a very solid filmic 24 frames per second, but
Lampy with the 200 bits. Thank you so much, Lampy. Marty and Jack play games that defy physics. You could start with Sonic Adventure and then go to Infinite Egg Game. What is Infinite Egg Game?
That's what you're talking about with the man.
Oh, yeah. Jeez, man, I just forget the things I say.
Once you say them, they are gone forever.
I thought a lot of times people would like bring up a thing that only you know, and I thought you were going to be like, oh, 7 years ago I did a stream where we played Infinite Egg Game and the controller was an egg.
By the way, that is a very fair statement. That I could also see that happening, so I rescind my snarky comment.
There's an indie platformer coming out, kind of like a Splatformer, but the whole thing is you're an egg.
Okay.
A Splatformer like Super Meat Boy, where you like die a lot.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I've never heard the term Splatformer before.
I don't know who. I think I got that from Casey. I'm assuming he did not create it, but if he did, great job, Casey. But you're an egg. But the thing is, like, you can shatter like an egg, and so you kind of have to like, you can jump you have a full jump, but if you use all of your jump, you will shatter when you hit the ground because you're an egg. And so you really have to think about like, how do I navigate this kind of traditional platforming level while keeping my egg safe?
Oh, very
It looks neat.
interesting.
Yeah. So there you go. More egg likes.
More. That's what we need here is more egg likes. I am
Billy
down.
Hatcher and the giant egg for the GameCube. That's one egg like.
That
That's
is
all.
so.
That's all. I have
That
one
is
egg like.
egg like.
And Squirtle Squad 420. I feel like the Squirtle Squad would smoke cigarettes, but they wouldn't be able to keep them lit because they were like their Squirtle juice would keep putting them on water. I guess is Squirtle juice. That's water.
Yeah, that's just water.
It's just water. This is regular water. Did you know you can get water poisoning?
What?
I refuted the fact that you could drink so much water that you get poisoning, and I got like thankfully I got explained by someone who said that they were in the Marines and they had to do a piss test once and they drank so much water they got water poisoning.
I have never heard that before, and that I mean, obviously, you know?
Too much of any. Yeah, you start dreaming an avatar in Navi.
But like, is that something where it's like, if I'm drinking too much water, will my body hit a point that it'll feel bad? How do I know if I'm drinking too much water?
Oh, I should have thought of that. There was that Aaron the hold your Wii for the Wii. Remember when that woman died?
What? No, I don't remember.
When the Wii originally released, the Nintendo Wii, and it was very hard to find for the first whatever season or year.
Okay.
There was like a radio contest that was like hold your Wii for a Wii. Like, okay, everyone has to drink a gallon of water, and then you don't get to pee, and whoever is last to piss themselves get a Wii for Christmas. And the lady died. The lady died.
What?
She held her Wii for a Wii and died.
Oh my fucking god.
You know what? Tamo S. Perfect explanation. It's an osmosis thing. I don't even know what that means. You know what? You want to explain how you could die? Fucking osmosis thing. I feel like that's the end of every argument. I'm like,
It's an osmosis thing. Duh.
yeah, seems like it.
You know what? Touche.
Lampy says, but did she get the Wii too? Yeah, the family got to use the fucking Wii at her funeral.
They
got
all
to play
they
Wii
all
Sports.
bowled. They all did Wii bowling at her funeral. And by the way, everyone had a great time.
It was great. Yeah, I mean, because the music is infectious.
Yeah.
Once you see your little me running around, it's wonderful. Sorry, Squirtle Squad. $5 dono. I'm in Adventurous Night Withdraw. Can Jack make up a silly name to tide me over? I'm gonna say, can you give I like sometimes someone's like, can you give us a complete out of context spoiler for season 4? Like a word, not even a word that is used, but like a thing where it's gonna be like, that doesn't make any sense now. But when people see season 4 later this year, they'll be like, oh, when you brought up the movie cliffhanger, I get it now.
I can. Which here is something completely that can be taken in any way, which is Cadillac.
Like the car? A little caddy?
Could be a lot of things.
Could
You
be a
don't
lot
know.
of things.
Cadillac. Is it a car? Is it just something someone said at some point?
I don't know. Now I'm going through everyone in my mind and like hearing the word Cadillac coming out of their mouth. I'm going to every character and being like, oh, who would be the most to say that word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a spoiler-free spoiler. Can I make up a name? Absolutely. You know, that is a part of my job description, is making up goofy names. Let's you know, like the way you make up names, the way I make up names for Adventurers Now is either a slightly normal sounding fantasy first name and a very dumb last name, or a last name that is so short that it has comedy juxtaposition to it, right? So okay, so I'm looking at my speaker right now. Speaker has a little knob, so the last name has to be Knob.
Gotcha.
And you know, that's like a penis too, so that's funny, right? And so that now, because it's Knob, because it's one syllable, our first name needs to be multisyllabic, many syllables. And so like if we were like let's say Marty. How can we fantasize up Marty's name? Martalabu Knob.
I like it.
is the name I will give you, Martalabu Knob. That's a good name.
That was what my parents were originally going to name me. And then my grandma was like, please no.
Please.
Those are made up words by a man 40 years from now.
Please no. Can I hit you? Oh my God! Can I? Not? I can't hit him. Oh, there we go.
Look at this fucking dude. George Lucas with 100 bits. Thank you, George. Have you heard about this big ass overhaul mod, Arch Thrones, for DS3? It'd be nice to see Dark Souls 3 streamed again. That was like one of the things we were possibly thinking about doing. I think just the demo's out. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, or we were looking at the Dark Souls 1 overview mod.
Oh, is that not the Arch Stones thing?
You know what? And I don't know. The truth is, I do not know. So yeah, I do not know. We were looking at a couple mods. There are some phenomenal mods out there for all of the Souls that are on PC at least. And yeah, some of them look really, really amazing. I think to me, big overhaul mods are always slightly I look at them slightly unfavorably. Like, I can appreciate the amount of work that goes into them, but in general, I'm not a big fan fiction guy.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what this Arch Thrones thing is like. Supposed to be a prequel to Dark Souls 3. So again, that is ostensibly fan fiction there.
And I know that's no slight against like the incredible work that the creators put into it, but I like the thing. I don't want to hear someone else's take on the thing that I like.
So does that also include like quality of life mods?
Ooh, interesting.
Or is that different? Like someone who's like, I'm not futzing with the story or the world or anything, but like, here are some people complain about this thing, so I fixed this, and now I fixed the map, and like that kind of thing.
Ooh, no, I think like, and I don't fuck with mods a lot in general.
Neither do I.
Is what I will say. But I think quality of life mods, I put more in the accessibility category, so I'm all down for that.
Yep.
All power to like anyone who's like, oh, I just made it easier for everyone to play and enjoy the game.
Yeah.
That being said, like for example, if someone was like, oh, I put in a mod for Dark Souls 1 that lets you teleport from the beginning of the game. And it's like, well, guess what? That's not how you're supposed to.
Yeah. Terraskasi. Shout out to the Star Wars The Masters of Terraskasi. The highlighted message, can I donate money in Marty's pants?
Hey now.
You're an all-star.
Don't dream it's over.
Oh, there's two types of people in the world. Hey now, you're an all-star, or hey now, don't dream it's over.
Hey now.
That was used in the original 90s miniseries The Stand, a 4-night event starring Gary Sinise.
Well, now we know.
Shout out to Gary Sinise, by the way.
Shout out to Gary Sinise in gym.
Yeah, friend of the podcast.
100%.
Gary Sinise. King Dead with a $2 dono. Thank you so much, King Dead. Bruce Springsteen shows up in a pink Cadillac. Could be. Did you get any Washington D.C. guests? Kamala. Buttigieg.
No, you know what? I think I got really nervous because I thought all of my flights were going to be canceled, because as I was flying out, Air Force 2 landed. Like, as I was boarding the plane, Air Force 2 landed in Milwaukee, and I was like, oh, shit. Oh, here it is. Here's the shirt. Finally, I found the shirt.
Did you ever, like, ask about, like, seeing if you could have, like, hitched a ride and be like, wait, if you're going from DC to Milwaukee, so am I, so do you want to, like, split this?
I mean, maybe we could just
Uber back.
This, yeah. I did not, but maybe I should.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have.
Yeah, you could tell them your Howard Dean story. I'm sure.
I probably still know enough people who know enough people where like I definitely could not get a ride on Air Force 2. Yeah, but I could meet Howard Dean again.
Yeah, so. I think he's just a civilian now. I don't think he's like doing anything. You probably meet him at like the Trader Joe's by his house. if you find out where that is.
Right. But so like
Um,
Kamala was flying in as I was flying out, and on the day I flew back, Biden was flying to Milwaukee because
ooh,
it is,
big battleground state.
it's
Big battleground
oh
state. A
god, we are
BBS.
such a battleground state. So I was very, very nervous. Here we go. Look at this. Now this is the boggart shirt. Look at that. Now we are boggarting.
Boggarting. Look at us. We got our fists. What are those called? Cestises?
These are the heavy iron ball.
Wow. Which is very literal. They were very lazy that day. They're
Very,
fucking just
very literal.
just name it whatever it is. It's fine.
Heavy iron ball. What am I looking for? Stones. How many stones do I got? How many stones do I got? How many stones do I need? 3.
What are you boying? What are you selling? Storm Templar said, Jack, Lords of the Fallen was so bad I went to play Dark Souls 2 instead. Are you talking about Lords of the Fallen 2 or Lords of the Fallen 1?
Oh, that's
None
fair.
of us subscribe to Lords of the Fallen 1.
Because remember, there are 2 Lords of the Fallen games.
Oh, this is just called Lords of the Fallen. Yeah. Names.
Wait, so what's the first Lords of the Fallen game called?
Lords of the Fallen. One might have a the.
The Lords of the Fallen?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think that, yeah. It's like Prey and Prey or God of War and God of War.
Yeah, but
It's all very
these
confusing.
games, Lords of the Fallen and Lords of the Fallen, take place in the same universe. Like they are sequels of each other. That if anything, I want an exclusive interview with who made that decision.
What if it was Howard Dean? And
It
you were
was
like,
Howard.
oh, Howie!
Woo!
Welcome
I'm
to
back.
see.
I'm in the video games now. No, I did like. I genuinely just want to like walk through why they thought that was okay. That is pure curiosity of like, that this is gonna fuck us up forever, right? Like
They probably like held some data and they're like, well, data, SEO, we don't want to, yeah.
Hey now.
Was it-
That's what they
An
said.
All-Star? Is that George Lucas doing karaoke?
I sure say hey now.
25th anniversary, Phantom Menace coming up. You don't care.
I don't.
You don't care. You don't care at all. 25th anniversary of The Matrix coming sooner.
Oh, what?
Yeah, in like 2 weeks. We might be. Maybe we'll try to get Darren. Maybe we'll try to get Darren and do a little entering the Matrix.
Oh, that would be.
Don't mind if I do.
What do I want to?
Did you ever enter the Matrix?
I've matrixed.
Did you ever play the Matrix game?
What was?
There's the game called Enter the Matrix that was a canonical, like they had scenes that were just filmed for the game about like what Jada Pinkett Smith and some other dude were doing between
That's
the
what I was
movies.
gonna. I remember playing the bullet time game with Jada Pinkett Smith. So yes, I did play Enter the Matrix.
There you go.
I did not finish it because I think it was bad.
I believe it. I think like Atari might have made it. I'm like, what are you doing making games? Get back to making Pong or Atari. I don't even know. It probably wasn't Atari. I was about to say someone's gonna mansplain me, and that's not what that would do. Someone would just correct me for saying a wrong thing. It was probably Shiny or something. Fucking Dave Perry and Shiny. Everyone on the chat screaming about Shiny. King and Commoner with a $5 dono. Is Glover technically a splatformer? He doesn't like shatter one. No, a splatformer is like when you're supposed to die a bunch, like a Meat Boy. I think you're making more of a splat because of the noise. Because Glover makes a splat.
Like N plus.
N plus was absolutely a splatformer.
That was a phenomenal platformer.
Yeah. Celeste is a splatformer.
Oh,
a game
there
where
you
you're
go,
supposed
yeah.
to die, and then you immediately come back to life at like the beginning of a screen.
Sure, where dying is part of the learning process.
Yeah, just like life.
Just like life.
And Eric back talking about something looking like a penis. What about a last name that sounds like a penis? My last name means soft hard. Vicart is soft hard. What's going on? They just couldn't choose? Had to do both?
Soft hard.
Is that like surf and turf? Having both?
That's
Having both? That's just for greedy people.
That's
Have
just-
one or the other. Also, it is so weird, Eric. Every time you do one of those, it says it's your fifth one. And it says that every day. And we know you're lying, Eric.
Yeah.
We know this isn't your fifth.
Stop lying.
So stop lying.
Stop lying to us. Stop lying to yourself.
Most importantly, stop playing to Howard Dean. Send the show.
Yeah.
SPS Guru with a €5 dono. Thank you so much. The worst kinds of mods are the ones that turn all the black characters white. Have you ever seen these mods? People are like, my game is too woke. There's too much wokeness in my game. So I took the games and I made everyone look like me.
Oh my God. By the way, I am so glad that I have not seen those. What kind of horrible bastards are out there? Never mind. I know. Never mind. You don't need to answer that. I know.
It was like, you see, Jack. It all started. Thought Takes. Been a member for 2 months in the Green Gang. Thank you so much. 2 types of people call me. Go West or Blondie. Call me. I believe that's Blondie.
By the way, there's 3 kinds of people, because some people you'll say call me and they'll say maybe.
Oh, that's true.
Call me maybe, that which is arguably
Carly
more
Rae
popular.
Jepsen. Yeah.
More popular than Blondie at this point.
I like that Carly Rae started out and people were like, this is a fucking joke. And now everyone's turned around and been like, or is it? Maybe this is great. Maybe this is beautiful.
I think everyone knew that it was pure saccharin from the beginning. My favorite thing with Call Me Maybe is how everyone got really excited about remixing it into other songs.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it's such an empty song that of course it can be remixed into anything. There's no melody to it. Of course, yeah, remix it into whatever the fuck you want, because it's nothing by itself.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that Rebecca Black is finally coming back around.
Good. The blackening has begun.
The blackening.
Did you know there's a mod to replace her with Rebecca White?
It's Saturday now. It's my Saturday now. Whatever that means.
Thought Takes, thank you so much. James Morgan with a $1.99 dono. Thank you so much, James. Personally, I wish Elden Ring had co-op beyond dungeons. Speaking of mods, I'm pretty sure that's also been modded into where you could just bum around with a pal.
There's a name for it. It's called something like the Everywhere Co-op mod, or the Better Co-op mod. That is the one thing that I absolutely would fuck around with mods, is like co-op Elden Ring, but co-op everywhere. Seamless co-op.
Seamless
thank
co-op.
you. That sounds like the most wonderful experience in the world. Just to walk through the game with someone. Absolutely. Yeah, get on it. Get on it. And I understand, I definitely understand FromSoft's hesitance, because that would require, I know seamless co-op is pretty jank as it is, and it's like that would require a ton of resources to make sure that it is correct. So I get it, but fuck, I would love that.
Elden Ring 2.
Elden Ring 2. Like, playing through, I've never played through a Souls game with someone. So
Which I believe like Lords of the Fallen you can do like full co-op or fuller co-op.
Full-ish, yeah. They're definitely a little looser, a little more generous with where you can co-op.
Mm-hmm. Lampy with 200 bits over in Twitch. Thank you so much, Lampy. Aren't D&D campaigns basically fan fiction works though, Jack? When you were saying earlier how you're not fan fiction.
No. That's as far as I'm concerned, maybe we got to get a little pedantic here, but fan fiction is when you take someone else's characters and write new stories for them. Mm-hmm. Like the world would, be somewhat included in, like what counts as a character. Oh, you're also making a story in someone else's world, right? But I believe it's more about the characters and less about the world. In Dungeons and Dragons, obviously, like you can play in a pre-established world, but you don't have to play in a pre-established world. You can play in whatever world you want, and you are 100% not playing with pre-established characters. You have to build your own characters to do your own unique things. So I don't think so, but thanks for playing.
going to end with you reaching across the aisle, and then it didn't. So I like that twist. I like that twist at the end. Speaking of reaching across the aisle, Beast March of the $1.99 dono. Jack, would Howard Dean scream at you if he saw you?
I would. At this point, yeah, you could probably cameo him to scream at you. So.
Oh my God, that's probably exactly where he is. He's just in his his 3-season room, and he's like, I'm just gonna bust a couple of these out for half an hour in the morning, and then we'll be set. Yeah.
Howard Dean, it's my daughter's birthday. Can you scream at her? She's a big wonk. She's a big wonk head. Loves I think that's what you call someone who's into politics, right? A wonk. Is this not true?
I thought. No, is this a bit? I don't know. I've never heard that before. I just assumed it was like she likes the film Willy Wonka starring Timothy Chalamet.
No, I believe that someone who is very into like politics, like like people who are into sports, people who are into politics are called wonks.
I typed in wonk and it just autocorrected to Wonka. Yeah. God damn it. A person who takes enthusiastic or excessive interest in the specialized details of a particular subject or field, especially political policy.
Oh.
So apparently, wonk could be used for anything.
Sure.
Like you could be an Elden Ring wonk.
More important question, can I not be?
You're a real lands between wonk, aren't you? There you go. Fun fact. I learned something new. I don't think I've ever heard that term before.
And this is purely that 2 weeks I spent bumming around DC for the high five inauguration video during Obama's when Howard Dean yelled at me. When Howard Dean made me feel sad, I heard that term a lot. Oh yeah, he's a real wonk. Like what?
I feel like that's what you call someone who's into politics and you also don't like. Just call them a wonk. They can't get mad at you. You're like, no, what? You're just into politics. Fucking wonk.
Fucking wonk.
George Lucas with 100 bits over in Twitch. Thank you so much, George Lucas. Speaking of birthdays, we should acknowledge the big 10-year HBD of our beloved Dark Souls 2 that took place last week.
What?
Dark Souls 2 turned 10 last week.
Oh my god! And we didn't do we couldn't do a stream. I was out of town. Oh my god!
No, we ended up doing an HBD Super Metroid because it turned 30.
Oh.
HBD Super Metroid. We'll watch all the old Dark Souls streams. Remember when you guys were doing dueling Dark Souls streams for a while?
Oh yeah, because I wanted to see if I could beat. I did. I beat Dark Souls. I think I beat Dark Souls twice before. Has Nick beaten Dark Souls 2 yet?
Oh yeah. You didn't go back to it.
Yeah. I beat Dark Souls 2 twice in the amount of time it took Nick to not beat it. So.
The lesson is never try. The hungriest of hippos.
Ooh, hello.
Welcome to the Green Gang. Sorry if I don't see if you had a message or not because I can't scroll back far enough. But welcome to the tip jar. If you had a message, drop it again. We'll say it. 4 months in the tip jar. Thank you. Hungriest of hippos, and then James Morgan back with a $4.99 dono. I liked how Matrix Path of Neo had you fight escalating enemies to earn harder difficulties, ending with fighting Agent Smith. So the second Matrix game was called The Path of Neo, and in this one you got to actually play as Neo as opposed to Jada Pinkett and the other guy. But he's sort of like you were able to retell the story of the movies, but then things veered off a little bit. And it had an interesting way of choosing difficulty. You didn't choose an easy, medium, or hard. I believe it just threw you in a fight against enemies that got progressively more difficult.
Oh.
And wherever you lost in the fight was like, oh, okay, you lost right away, so we're gonna put you on easy, or you lost, or like you made it all the way to Agent Smith. Like that shit's real. You can play this game on hard.
Oh, that's a really interesting way to gauge that.
Yeah.
Of course, if you knew that ahead of time, you could very easily cheese the system.
Yeah. But yeah, interesting thoughts.
I really like that. Handling difficulty is always one of those. Bullshit talking points about games and how difficult they should be, and should there be difficulty settings at all. But that is a very interesting way of handling that. I wonder. That's one of those where I'd love to look at the data of where did people fall.
Yeah, and it even would make sense canonically. I can't remember if this is how it was portrayed, but it'd be like, oh, right, Neo's jacking into the simulation, and we'll see how you do. And
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, you got your ass kicked right away. You need some practice, Neo. Or like, oh my God, he's fighting the agent. That kind of thing.
But like, did most people, my question would be is like, did most people play on what would be considered easy mode, or did most people play on what would be considered normal? What was the base player rate for something like that?
Yeah, and I don't know if it was. I did play the game, and I played it when it came out, so I do not remember exactly how it unfolded. But if it was like you go through a tutorial mission and then that decider is at the end of it, or if they literally just throw you into that and it's like, well, here you go, and you're like, I don't know what the buttons are, because I feel like that would also be like if I had 20 minutes, like. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what difficulty I want the game yet. Like, maybe I need to spend an hour into it to get comfortable. I actually know the difficulty. I would just put it on easy, if I'm being honest. Life is short. We're all going to die eventually. I'm just going to put it on easy mode.
Yeah, do what you want to do.
No one's telling you what you can have for breakfast.
We eat what we like.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mikey. That was the Kicks mascot. Remember the cereal
Mascot?
Kicks? He's a boy.
Yeah, I don't know if I would... Mikey likes it, right? It's like, hey, Mikey, he likes it, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd count that as a mascot.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize we were gatekeeping here.
I'm gatekeeping if we consider, like a human who is in one commercial a mascot. Absolutely.
Yeah. I really no. It's an anthropomorphic animal or bust.
Okay. 100%. Yeah. Fuck you and your Mikey was a mascot. Gaslight bullshit.
Also, I don't even want to watch. There's probably like a documentary about how like that kid had a very rough up, or like something like, oh, then he resorted to drugs. Or, no, Mikey, he likes anything. He'll try anything.
No, Mikey, not crystal meth.
All the other mascots, like, Mikey, you have a problem. We're here because we love you.
Tony the Tiger gets in there and goes, now, Mikey, we know that you're not technically a mascot, but we're welcoming you into this club to tell you you're addicted.
And Mikey getting all defensive. You invited the fucking Tricks Rabbit. You don't think he has a problem? Mikey, this isn't about him. This is about you.
That's good.
And a reminder: addiction's not a joke. And if you have a problem, you got to reach out to friends. You have people in your life that love you.
That's true. We're making spoofs and goofs over here, but
it's a goof. But we sometimes make serious and serial and serious. I don't know what happened there. Fill my ass up. Let's just move on. Nope, that's the name of the next band. Fill my ass up. 20 Norwegian kroner. Has there ever been a game that's made you cry? Great question. We forgot about everything we were talking about beforehand. A game that made me cry. Teared up. I don't think I've ever I've full on sobbed during movies and TV shows. I don't think a game has ever made me full on sob, but yeah, I got emotional and teared up during parts of most recently Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Doing a replay of Journey always gets me. Red Dead 2, I would say. Spiritfarer.
Sure.
What about you? Are you do you get emotional during art?
Like no one's ever made me full on sob. I definitely have Volvoed here and there.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me? Oh, sob! That's so good! Oh my god, that's so good! Holy moly! Oh, I was taken aback. Oh, wow. It's just that was so good. That was really impressive. Wow.
I didn't know. I didn't know if you were being a jerk to counter my bit, or if you didn't get it.
I didn't get it, and then boy, it hit me. I was thinking of Voldo from Soul Calibur was my problem. I wasn't thinking of the guitar when I thought of it. Ooh.
Definitely my one. I'm an easy laugh. We've talked about that before. I laugh very easily. You invite me to your comedy movie premiere, because I just laugh all the time. But is similarly, I tear up relatively easily. I am a relatively emotional person, especially when it comes to media. But that being said, video games are very different. They're long form. The one big one that I can think of really easy is what was the Legend of Twilight Princess?
Oh, okay.
Is
Like,
the end of Twilight Princess when you return Midna to her Midna-ness, and like you see her true form, and it's like a very a wonderful and emotional moment, and that had me just bawling.
yeah, a lot of um, the one thing games do have is you go on such a long adventure that sometimes at the end of it you get emotional, not only because it's an emotional moment, but because it's like the entire, like, you could feel like, oh my god, this is the culmination of everything I've been doing for the past however many hours that I've been playing over the past however many days. Like, this feels like a real ending is coming. Like when you get to the end of a
Exactly.
show that you've been watching for a long time, like it feels like you're parting ways with a friend. Yeah.
Absolutely, and very similarly, just thinking along the same lines with Tears of the Kingdom, where like obviously you spend the entirety of the game looking for Zelda, and that the final moments of that game were intense.
Yeah, yeah.
A little I don't want to say like obvious, like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
obvious, but a little obvious.
Mhm.
But I was there for it. I bought in.
Sure.
Hook, line, and sinker.
There you go. Fungus Finder with a $2 dono. Thank you so much. There's a little Call Me Maybe in Weird Al's medleys.
I'm sure.
Do you like Weird Al? Ooh, has Weird Al done a Call Me Maybe cover? Sounds like something he would do.
He does. He does his polka.
Call
medleys.
Me Gravy. Call Me Gravy.
He does. He does his like his one Weird Al's polka medleys are some of my favorite Weird Al songs. Where he'll just be like, he has like an emo early 2000s hardcore polka medley where it's cut my life into pieces, this is my last resort, suffocation, and he goes through all of that kind of genre in one polka medley, which are a favorite of mine. So I'm sure Call Me Maybe is somewhere
There you go.
in a medley somewhere, because why not? Because why wouldn't it be?
Exactly.
I don't necessarily have a goal right now.
Oh, gotcha.
By the way, for anyone curious, oh no, and I am gonna die. Oh, and I died. Okay, great.
Yeah, I think it's one of those streams where it's not really about this. It's not really about the game.
No, literally, my only goal was to get this shirt, and I got it really easily because I thought it was behind a couple more bosses. So we should probably fight some bosses because it's been an hour.
We said we were gonna eat shrimp every time you beat a boss. I even have frozen shrimp in my freezer.
Oh my god! Don't eat it.
I wasn't intending on eating them, but
okay, good.
Yeah.
Don't eat frozen shrimp. No, I beat Renala first try, so
yeah, it was really impressive.
I have beat a boss. I just forgot.
Exactly. And and you beat Dog as well. Remember Dog?
Excuse you.
Radigan's Firehound or whatever his name is.
Where's I can't get on the thing. Oh fuck! Did I not get both pieces of the Dectus medallion? Oh god.
Oh, we have a new goal. We gotta get a duo Dectus.
You know what? We'll go fight the thing.
Oh, folks love fighting the thing.
We'll go fight a thing.
Plastic Rose been a member for 3 months. Thank you so much. Plastic Rose's Jack's laugh equals best laugh.
Like I said, I'm an easy laugh. I really I just enjoy laughing. So
if you had to rank live, laugh, and love,
ooh, laugh goes on top. It would be laugh, laugh, love, and then living. I could take it or leave it.
There you go. Inside of it, chat. I want to know from you. Live, laugh, love. Rank them. We have two dueling similar jokes.
Oh no.
In opposite chats.
Okay. I'm ready.
Fuck, I already lost. Fucking everything's so difficult. Why is everything so hard? Well, Lampy, I lost yours, but I remember what you said. Lampy said, Marty, does that make you a weeb wonk? Which I would say weeb includes the wonkery. You don't need to be a wonk because,
Right.
like, isn't a wonk is just you're like overly excited about the
A
thing.
weeb is an anime wonk.
Yeah, exactly.
Therefore,
Yeah.
weeb wonk would be redundant.
You should start using weeb as like, oh, I'm a politics weeb. Like, sorry, I just gotta say, I'm a Biden weeb. And
He scored only 2 home runs this year, but his RBI is out. Listen, I'm sorry, I'm a real baseball weeb. All right.
baseball weeb. Yeah, ridiculous. That's good stuff. And then Andrew Hickenbottom with a 2-pound dono. Marty's a Taft wonk. I am absolutely a Taft wonk.
Take it.
Yeah. What a man.
What a man.
What an absolute bench. George Lucas with 100 bits. Speaking of adventures, has Jack gone back to Baldur's Gate 3?
Oh, you know what? And I got so deep into Adventures Night Planning. I have not. Is the truth to that? And I'm at a good. What do I want to say about Baldur's Gate 3? Obviously, I loved a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. I think it was significantly better than I was expecting. And it was significant. Oh my God! Would you stop running all the fuck over your fuck? You fuck. Because I played the early access of Baldur's Gate 3 and did not have a good time.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And once I got into the main game, I found the joy. I found the path. Oh fuck. And I made it to Baldur's Gate. I made it to the titular gate.
Damn, that's all the way there.
And like all my characters are leveled up. I felt like really good about where I was going in the story, and I just kind of teetered off.
Yeah. That happens. Sometimes you don't need to see an adventure all the way to the end. You might have just, or like, do you think you're going to go back to it, or do you think like, oh, I had a lot of fun and that's just it for now?
I really want to go back to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I really want. There are a few storylines that I'm genuinely curious about finishing up. So I just haven't. Why is that? Well, obviously, the past 2 months has been nothing but Adventures Night prep and finishing Adventures Night season 3.
Yeah.
So
and then coming back, like, oh my God, what do I do now?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to some low level areas.
Yeah, there you go. Wonderful. Humane Shield with a $9.99 dono. Thank you so much, Humane Shield. Jack, I was surprised to hear that you have never seen the movie Strange Brew. As someone who grew up in the 80s, it feels wrong that you would not know Canadian comedy of Rick Moranis, Dave Thomas, Max von Sydow. He's probably not that funny, but he's in the movie.
He's just not that funny.
He's just not that funny.
Yeah. I mean, what you have to remember is when I grew up, I was limited to where I grew up and when I grew up. We did not have a video rental store near us. It wasn't until I was like 13 that we got a Blockbuster that was still a half hour away from us.
So it's saying something that you know as many things as you do, because you've been like making up for lost time over the last few decades.
Exactly. So my main source of movies was my cousin taping movies off of his HBO, which sometimes didn't have the full movie. And so, I would get like 3 movies on a VHS like once a month that I would watch in repeat.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I saw it in college because I took a course that was purely about cinematic adaptations of Hamlet.
Oh.
And it is loosely based on Hamlet.
Okay.
I feel like we got halfway through the movie and we were like, this feels like a stretch, Professor. We are paying a lot of money for this. What are you doing? Also, why did I take this class? How is this going to help me in life?
Because you were probably like, oh, I can watch movies. This will be.
I took a lot of classes. Where it was I took the same professor. I had a class with him for like 2 full years, so 4 semesters in a row, and one was called Angelology in Media, and it was media depictions of angels, and we watched like so much Neon Genesis Evangelion.
What?
What was you doing? Like, you're not even like. I think this guy was just like, I could just get paid to watch anime, just turn the lights off. It was great.
That's exactly what he was doing. Yeah,
University of Wisconsin blog.
like, by the way, chat, whoever's mentioning like the fact that I love Sister Act and Supergirl is because like, yeah, I grew up with my mom, so a lot of movies that we watched were movies that she picked out. Guess who loved like women in powerful roles? My mother.
There you go.
So yeah, Sister Act, back in the habit.
There you go.
Miss Lauryn Hill.
How have they not made a third one?
They are making a new Sister Act.
Then nothing can stay. Did you see this trailer for Beetlejuice?
I did not see the trailer for Beetlejuice because come on.
However, well done on the name. I don't want this movie to exist, but well done on the name. It's a very clever sequel name.
The obviously the only problem is now they have to make a third.
You would think that, but they made Now You See Me, and they didn't name the second one Now You Don't. So, like, I don't know. There's no rules in Hollywood. Come back to my conspiracy show where I tell you about my theories about Hollywood. That was Alex Jones. Alex, get out of here. That's what I thought you were talking about when you mentioned you were in DC with Alex. I assumed you were talking about Alex Jones. Did you see this game, Quattro? Got 10 of a kind. It's crazy.
You could change your cards. If you could do that in the casino, all the bullfrogs would definitely be straight. You know what I'm saying?
SVS Guru with a €5 dono. I am physically incapable of crying because of a condition as a child. I tear up, but there's a mental block preventing it from going further.
Interesting. That is. Hopefully you figure that out. Crying is an important part of emotional health sometimes. Hello, Inside Out. We learned some lessons.
Get there.
But,
Is it the crying, or like is it an internal catharsis, or is it an external? You know what I mean? Like, how much of it is like, do you need to go through the whole ritual?
Yeah.
There's really no way of knowing.
There's, as someone who has glasses, I hate the whole ritual because, I got to take my glasses off, wipe my eyes down.
Yeah, and then my eyelashes stay kind of wet, and I got like long eyelashes, so they rub against my glasses, and everything looks smudgy.
Oh, yeah. It turns into a big bowl of bullshit.
Yeah, absolute big bowl of bullshit. Tsunami Doucher with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Tsunami Doucher. The ending of Star Fox 64, when the team is running against the sunset, the music swells as the great fox breaches the horizon. Chokes me up every time. That was just a beautiful way of describing that as well. Yeah. I love breaches the horizon. That's a very evocative way of saying that. I remember that name too. There's also some things you see and you're like, God damn, this is pretty. Like even in this game, when you beat the first legacy dungeon and you overlook the lake of Liurnia or Liurnia Lakes or whatever. Like, ooh, no, this thing's very pretty.
Like look at this. This is like, obviously I've played this enough where a lot of the game I barrel through, but like fucking look at this. Look at this autumnal landscape. In this beautiful
there are times
land.
I need to remind myself when I'm playing a game. Well, I was playing like Tears of the Kingdom, a game where I was playing like 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I had to be like, "Look at this thing, and it's in my hands." It's just a bunch of numbers, and look what they made.
Look at the beauty that they made in this. What is this? Boost ally attack power reduces. Oh, yeah.
Stake the Garden says I'm humble bragging about my long eyelashes. I am. I'm flexing my eyelashes on everyone. Lampy with 100 bits. Again, I apologize if I missed anyone. There's a lot of things, and there's just everywhere. Marty, I know how much you care about it, so I'm letting you know there's been breaking Kate Middleton news. I will say I have been following it throughout the stream. It turned out cancer diagnosis. So it wasn't anything like nefarious. I mean, it's nefarious, just going through.
But that's official now.
It's official in as much as yes, like actual. This is Deadline Hollywood. They would never lie to us. So yes, cancer diagnosis of chemotherapy.
Gotcha. Yeah, and most of us did not know this. There was one. I won't call them out, in case it would be an embarrassment to them. But there was one particular member of the Adventure Is Nigh crew who was keeping very real tabs on the whole Kate Middleton situation. And the rest of us were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And this whole like Photoshop thing, like the kids, the whole thing.
Too.
I
was too.
It's the most bizarre thing I have ever seen. Yeah. And that was the big speculation, of course, is that she was sick, and so this was a way of maintaining. It's the most boring explanation, which is a royal is trying to maintain their image.
Yeah.
Which, of course, after the whole Meghan Markle situation, like Kate Middleton also has to like be the good one, right?
Sure.
I'm the one everyone still loves.
Yeah, but your show's not number one on Netflix, is it? Suits.
Boom.
I thought you were gonna say Bones, and I was like, she was in Bones too.
No, that's a Dratch, not a Dratch. Deschanel. That's a Deschanel.
Yeah. What do you think of Rachel Dratch?
I was thinking of
Way different than Zoe Deschanel. What? And other than Deschanel, I don't know what the other one's called. Franny.
Franny Deschanel. Franny Dratch.
Yeah. Franny Dratch.
Oh, that's Daddy Dratch over there.
What's up? 84 with
What's up?
No. Remember those frogs? Were they mascots? No, they were the Budweiser frogs. The What's up were men. Those were just
What's
regular
up were men. Men cannot be mascots. I'm putting that out there. Humans cannot be mascots.
Oh, the Budweiser frogs were mascots?
100%. Budweiser. That's 100% a mascot.
I think you're being racist. Oh no. Who do I sound like now?
Humans cannot be mascots. Name a human mascot.
Popeye.
Popeye is a cartoon. But also Popeye is not a mascot. Popeye is the character. He's not the mascot for spinach.
What about the fake man from the insurance? Jake from State Farm.
Oh.
Seems like a mascot, right?
And Flo from...
And he's like a man who appears in like games. He daps up LeBron James and shit.
Oh, you might be right. You might have proved me wrong.
Thank you, Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm, Flo from Progressive,
and Jared from Subway.
Jared. Oh, we don't talk about that one. Let's not.
Oh, sorry, Papa John for Pop. No, we don't talk about him.
Okay. And by the way, those two reasons are two reasons you do not use humans as mascots.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's dangerous.
That is dangerous territory, friends.
Yeah. So we can all agree, animated is like Colonel Sanders, Captain Crunch. Like those are mascots because they're animated.
Of course.
Yeah. Shout out to Colonel Sanders.
I guess like the thing for me is like, do they have a name? Like, are they a named character, and do they appear in multiple things?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like the Mikey, Mikey, I think he likes it. Did he appear in multiple commercials or just one?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
To be honest, I don't know enough. I don't know enough. And when I made that joke, I didn't think it would be something we'd have to examine. I'm gonna be honest. I fired it, and I didn't realize the consequences of my actions. Yeah. So maybe that's something that we should think about.
That's something on you, absolutely.
And then Jess Hoops says, "Laugh and love are on the same line, and they're both better than living."
Yes.
So laughing and loving are tied, and the living is just at the bottom.
There you go. That's it. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Jess.
That's great, Jess. What's up with that $5 donation? That took us away. I immediately said that, and in my head, I thought of the frogs.
Yeah.
I feel like that was all around the same time. Those were not the frogs. Those were the Budweiser frogs. The events of January 6th occurred in D.C. Adventure is Nigh Season 4 filmed in D.C. Coincidence? Just asking questions.
That's a pretty big... That's... no.
What if we start a weekly show called Jacques? J-A-Q. Just asking questions.
Wait, what?
Questions.
I no longer understand what questions we are asking, and now I am scared.
We're just asking questions. We could put any opinion out there, and we're just asking questions.
We're just asking questions.
We're just asking questions. Like, you can't get mad at us. Just asking questions.
I do not like this. Remember, everyone who saw the season finale of season 3 of Adventures Now, you know what the theme of Adventures Nigh Season 4 is already, which is what? Which is ending conflict, ending war, right?
Mm-hmm. And what better way to end a war than a Cadillac?
Cadillac!
I'm now noticing you keep saying it in the same way. So I think if you want a hint with the caveat that I know nothing, literally nothing about season 4,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a hint in the way Jack is saying it. I know you might focus on the Cadillac,
Yeah.
but also focus on the way he's saying it because it's been the same every time.
There you go.
Yeah, that's how I catch killers. When the cops call me and they say we need help catching this killer, I'm like, listen to how they're saying it, not what they're saying.
Ooh. Think about, and would you just take a moment and think about that?
Just asking questions.
Just ask. Oh God.
Just asking questions. Humane Shield with the 199 dono. Thank you so much. Hey Marty, Alan Rickman, the best angel in Dogma. He was a great angel.
He was a great angel.
Yeah, I think we were talking a couple streams ago. We were talking about best angels. Oh, we also talked about my angelology. We did not watch Dogma in my angel class.
Oh.
Yeah, but shout out to Kevin Smith.
Shout out to Kevin Smith. Shout out to like the weird, movie industry in which this, a director who has a cult following and will buy literally any garbage he puts out are unable to purchase Dogma because of weird paperwork rights.
Oh, was it like a Miramax some bullshit?
Some Weinstein bullshit. And so, just this movie that people would buy, I have bought Clerks 5 different times. People would buy Dogma a million different times, but it's caught up in legalese.
Legalese. Storm Templar with a highlighted message on Twitch. Who is the best romanceable companion in BG3? Ask it to both of us. I have not played Baldur's Gate, so there's the cat. Oh no, the hot dude. The dude who looks like with white hair. I like him.
Oh, obvious, basic.
I don't know anything about the character, so I'm just going solely based on how he looks.
Yeah, no, he's a hot dude. He's the hot dude, and he also, he's the easy choice because sure. He's a hot dude, and he comes on to you. You don't have to do any work, and he wants to get all up in that, right?
Yeah. That's how all of my Persona waifus are like that.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, that's basic as hell. And I'm like, oh, what does this say about me? Oh, no.
No, you know what it says about you? You want to be pursued. And there's nothing wrong with that. Guess what? I don't got to, maybe I want to be pursued too. Think about that.
Oh, I like it.
So, he's great.
Who was your fave?
I went, oh my God, has it been so long that I'm going to forget their names? We made a whole video about my waifu and ropes, and her name is Lae'zel.
Lae'zel.
Oh, it took me a second. My waifu was Lae'zel, and I love waifuing Lae'zel because I'm all a lot of her storyline is also really intertwined with kind of her breaking away from the dogma of her people and me getting to be a part of that. And also, aggressive women, that's fine. Dig that.
Her character is also interesting because she obviously goes through the arc where she breaks away from her dogma and then tries to buy it back on Blu-ray and can't, which is a bummer for her. I have not played Baldur's Gate.
Nailed it, Marty.
I haven't played the game from last year.
Fucking nailed it.
Thanks for Harvey ruining everything for us.
But Moonbeam, not Moonbeam, Moonstone.
That's just a hippie.
What the fuck is her name? Moon something. Who's Moon something?
It's my girlfriend Moonbeam.
This is my girlfriend Moon.
Drove here from Sarasota.
There's Moon tits over there. Yeah, craters are her areolas. What the fuck?
What are you talking about?
What's her name? Moon something.
Is there a Moon something? Shadowheart?
Shadowheart.
Does Moon even cast a shadow? Oh, Moon does cast shadow. That's when Eclipse is. The Eclipse is coming up soon. Are you gonna look at it? Do you look at eclipses? Should we not talk about this? I look at eclipses.
You should look. I mean, you can get the special glasses to look at eclipses.
Yeah. No, I like doing it without glasses.
Oh, okay. But okay, so Shadowheart is a follower of the Moon Mother. is what I believe. That's why I
All
got
right.
that's why I got Moon in there. That's what
Sure,
I'm going to
sure.
tell myself at least.
Yeah.
That's um Shadowheart. Shadowheart is a fine choice. Shadowheart is, to me, like, in the classic Yennefer versus ooh,
Oh, the girl, Siri, Cersei.
Ciri is your adopted daughter. It's Yennefer versus oh, and that almost contacted
Yes.
the lady in my phone. Triss, thank you. So Yennefer versus Triss, in my mind, Yennefer is someone who like has their life together and is doing their own thing and does not like have attachment issues to me where I need to also be emotionally like propping them up, unlike Triss. And Shadowheart is very needy and very like codependent, and to me that's not a good foundation for a relationship. I've thought about these waifus a lot.
Which between Yennefer and I only watched the first season of the show. Which one was the one who like the magician who like got all disfigured?
They are both magicians.
Underwent like an actual physical transformation.
That's Yennefer. Yennefer started out as a deformed person and used magic to make herself beautiful. But
Gotcha.
but
Yennefer.
at least in the games and in the books, Yennefer is a little more is an actual like an adult, where Triss is codependent, and that's not gonna do well. That's a relationship doomed to fail right there, everybody.
There you go. Look at that. Heard it here first.
Yeah. So like I was thinking Shadowheart, but I mean Lae'zel, clearly Lae'zel was the right choice.
Yeah.
In
We
my
just it
opinion.
was our wiki work right there. Paul with a $2 dono. I weeb for Gurren Lagann. It still holds up. I'm getting a lot of flight. There's this anime called Gurren Lagann or Gurren Lagann. I still don't know how to pronounce it. It was very, very popular. I started to watch it. I watched the first episode, and I told people that I'm watching it, and people got very excited.
Yeah.
But then, this is weird. The second time I'm bringing it up, the end of Evangelion movie they announced was getting a theatrical run, and it aired for 2 nights only. And it was the first time ever in the U.S. it was ever in theaters.
Oh.
This is like a movie from the 90s, and I was like, ooh, I want to see that in theaters. So I'm gonna do a quick little Evangelion rewatch.
Okay.
And so I put this Gurren Lagann in the back seat. Watched all of End of Evangelion, watched all of Evangelion, saw End of Evangelion in theaters, had a great time.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's a very strange movie, and watching it surrounded by people is very strange. And so and then people are mad at me that I have not gone back to Gurren Lagann. And I just want to say, the more you pressure me, the more I get scared and might just watch something else. So you gotta like pretend you don't care. And that's when I'll come back. Like, guys, I got the Gurren Lagann.
Everybody, you have to learn how to just be cool, and that's
cool.
tough sometimes. But you gotta be
Just
cool.
be cool. Like put the piece of cheese down. And if you were like, get the cheese, I'm gonna run away from the cheese. But you know what? If you guys play it cool, I'll get a hankering for cheese. I'll come walking back.
I had to during the trip. We had a couple of people with cars, because we need to drive places. And the few times that I drove with Casey and I have very similar music tastes. Some of the times, we both enjoy a lot. Oh, that's right. I got to talk to this motherfucker. We both enjoy our fair bit of emo, of hard rock, screamo, if you will. And so Coheed and Cambria, a favorite of both of ours. And so when I first heard Sleep Token, I was like, KC, get on this shit. It's going, life-changing. This is a life-changing music.
Yeah.
And, when we met up in DC, he was like, hey, I listened to Sleep Token on the way down. I just don't think it's my jam. And it took every ounce of any energy or strength I had not to rip into an hour diatribe of why he was wrong.
Let's just listen to this album. Okay, just keep driving around the block, and we'll just keep listening to this album. We gotta get to the next song.
Because you gotta be cool. If he's gonna find it, if he's gonna find that love, he's gonna find it. You gotta be cool, everybody.
Yeah. There is no rockier foundation to start something off on than someone saying, look at this funny video, and then holding their camera up to me, and I'm like, oh my god, you're already in the fucking gutter.
Yeah.
Like this is a terrible way for me to start this thing. Oh no, wait, just wait.
Just wait.
You gotta wait a couple seconds. Wait, let
Never.
me scroll back. Let me scroll back. You gotta get the. No, that's
Never.
terrible.
Never
terrible.
do that. Never do that. The person won't enjoy it like you enjoy it. Never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Problem solved. I don't know what the problem is, but we solved it.
Andrew Hickenbottom, Sleep Token is the name of the band. Back to Eden is their latest album. If you enjoy thrashy metal, 90s R&B, and a little bit of emo, it's going to be your jam.
There you go.
If you need one song to listen to the song Granite.
Granite.
It is. If you're not sold by Granite, you won't be sold on the album. But it's my jam.
Everyone's getting a Granite link.
Get a
YouTube,
Granite.
you get a Granite link.
You get a Granite.
It's a video. I don't know what this video. It's the official video, so I don't know if it's just gonna be songs and lyrics, or if they actually made pictures out of it. But enjoy.
Sometimes they have official videos. Sometimes they just have lyrical videos. But
There you go.
Actually, in Storm Templar, I just re-listened to the first Dead Sarah album the other week, and I remembered how good fucking Dead Sarah is. Another
band?
like screamy hard rock female-fronted band, Dead Sarah. Ooh,
There you go.
Marty. There are some songs that are rippers and killer songs that have the stupidest subject matter in the world. It made me think of Dead Sarah has this ripper of a song called Weatherman, and like the chorus is like I'm the Weatherman.
Yeah.
And like the rest of the song is a ripper. You don't pay attention to the lyrics. I was also thinking of like Pinball Wizard. You know
Pinball Wizard. Yeah.
That music.
Chop Suey.
Chop Suey. Oh, right. The music, and like if you don't speak English and don't listen to the words, it's got a wonderful melody. But it's like, why is this about a fucking pinball?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Really loved pinball. It was really. You just don't get it.
I just really loved pinball.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dead Sarah, the Weatherman, which is a great song, but like for fuck's sake, it's a song about I'm the Weatherman. It's like, come on, can we not do better than this?
All right, Bob Dylan was 70 years ago. Everyone be cool. I don't think that was 70 years ago. I don't know how time works. Pure Pyro. Oh no, wait, Snake in the Garden. With a €2 dono. Very ironically. Jack, have you seen Delicious in Dungeon? The Netflix anime.
Ooh,
and it's funny because that is the thing I've been watching instead of Gurren Lagann. I watched 5 episodes of it last night. I think it's really nice.
It looks amazing, and as someone who is a fan of cooking bullshit in general, it's on my list.
Yeah, cooking bullshit in the D&D mold. Very good. Yeah.
So it is on my list. What I will say is Amy and Alex have convinced me to watch I Was a Teenage Vending Machine.
Oh, yeah.
First.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like crazy bullshit. So I'm probably going to watch I'm a Teenage Vending Machine first as far as anime is concerned.
Yeah. Got isekai'd and got turned into a vending machine.
Yeah, that's just weird enough to get it on my radar.
Yeah. I've seen a couple episodes of it and I thought it was delightful. Pure Pyro with a €2 dono. Jack and Marty, have you played in the Flame and the Flood? Flame and the Flood. That was like the survival, like downriver gothic horror, right?
Yes, Flame in the Flood is a phenomenal game. It's one of the very few survival games that I genuinely enjoy because it's much like Pacific Drive, where it's a survival game that where you move, you don't hunker down. I really hate hunkering down.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to put it. Instead of like you having to fortify yourself against the world, it's like you having to fortify while moving through the world. And I like that. Yeah.
Oh fuck. He came really close on attempt number 1 further down.
And Nick Knoll, that was also the first thing I thought of was that Guitar Hero song before I remembered that the game was called The Flame and the Flood. There was that, I kind of got Through the Flame and the Fire, I believe was the name of like, the artist song.
Dragon Force.
Yeah, Dragon Force. Yeah. But yeah, that was a cool. That was like a bunch of former leads that worked on BioShock Infinite.
Oh, really?
who are now working on their own. They got bought by CD Projekt Red, I
What?
believe, that developer. The Molasses Flood. I believe they got bought by CD Projekt Red and are working on a Witcher game in Boston.
Interesting.
Not a Witcher game set in Boston. Their studio is in Boston. Could you imagine a Witcher game set in Boston?
Oh, I got some wicked neckers over here. I got some fucking spiders up in it. Oh, we're gonna need a witcher up in here. Jesus Christ.
A really good game. Be a really good game.
I
Why don't they make that? That would be so much more interesting to me than The Witcher.
By the way,
in a fantasy world.
I think we do need something like that, like a modern, like, oh yeah, like I hunt ghosts, I fight monsters, but I'm just clearly in New Jersey.
Yeah.
In modern day New Jersey.
The fucking Hexa. Yeah, that'd be great.
That's what it would be called. They're fucking Hexa. Oh, we got the fucking Hexa over here. Oh, what are you going to do? Spray some oil on a motherfucker? Get out of town.
That would be good. Yeah. There you go. Flame the Flood.
Flame of the Flood. Oh yeah, Flame of the Flood. Actually, I've played and beaten Flame of the Flood twice. I want to say I talked about it back in the prereq days, and I want to say maybe the developers sent me like a PlayStation code. So I played it on PC and then played it on PlayStation because I fucking love the Flame of the Flood. Whenever we talk about survival games, I make a point to bring it up because it's one of the few that I truly, truly enjoy. What a beautiful game.
There you go. John Lee with 20 bits over on Twitch. Sorry, this was probably like 45 minutes ago. Said, just wait till the PS5 Pro, Marty. And I bet when you sent that, it made sense, but I don't know. There's a PS5 Pro probably coming out this fall, and I talked about on the show how it seems like it's too early for that. Even though, like, it's not too early in terms of usually there's like a hardware refresh 3 to 4 years into a console life, and this is going to be 4 years. But just it feels like with COVID and everything, it doesn't feel like we're like there's no game I'm playing where I'm like, ooh, the old PS5 is really huffing and puffing back there. Like it just doesn't feel like we've gotten there yet.
Yeah,
maybe that'll be Dragon's Dogma. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see this weekend.
No, I agree with that. And like the other thing is like, is the PlayStation doing well? This might be a really cynical question, but like, is it selling well? Or did it fail this console generation?
No, I think it's selling well. It's not selling as well as like the Switch. It's not like I don't think it's on track to like be an all-timer. It's selling well. I think there was the amount of time and amount of money spent on video games really peaked during the pandemic. Understandably, people were at home, had more free time, had possibly disposable income, that kind of thing. And since whatever pandemic we are currently in, the world is more open, people are going out more, traveling more and everything, the amount of time and money spent on games has been going down. Not to where like not to a dangerous point, but almost like back to where it was pre-pandemic.
Sure,
so like
it's like normal.
Yeah, exactly. But the reason we're seeing so many layoffs and so many games canceled is studios really saw that upward trend and was like, well, let's hire, let's start projects, let's open new studios and everything in the pandemic, and then not counting that eventually that line's going to stop moving up.
Of course.
And money's not cheap. I like saying that. I don't know what that means. I don't know anything about money, but money's not cheap now. Money's actually expensive now. Yeah.
No, that's just true. Money is not cheap, but like, I whenever I talk to like people, whenever I talk to normals, like someone who does not like think about and play games and talk about games as much as you and I do, whenever we get to PlayStation talk, like their big question is like, what do you play on that? Which is like, obviously it has a handful of exclusives still. My PlayStation 5, much like my PlayStation 4, is nothing but a Blu-ray player anymore. It's a Blu-ray / Bloodborne machine now.
Yeah.
Because anything else I want to play is, it's usually on my computer, or it's on my Steam Deck, which I can take with me, or it's on a Switch, which I can take with me.
Yeah, or something comes out and you're like, it'll probably be ported to Steam in a year, and I'm not crazy about playing it right now, so I can wait. And then Horizon 2 is on Steam today, or whatever, that kind of thing.
Exactly. So, So it's just it always seems to be like not a priority.
Yeah, it is funny. I just don't like playing games on my PC because I consider this seat in this room to be like a workroom,
Sure.
and so I'm like I just want to not be in this room. So I was playing, my AAA games on consoles, and then almost everything else on Switch. But now, especially indie games, I've been playing more and more on Steam Deck because A, it's just you can find indie games so cheap, and B, like that's what I like my Steam Deck for, is for indie games and for retro games. And so I have noticed that like I've turned my PlayStation on only for like occasional exclusives now.
Ooh, sure.
However, I did get that. I got the PlayStation Portal, which I was liking a lot during as I was jamming through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The Portal is that kind of streaming device, that the PlayStation handheld streamer. And I really fell for it during while playing Final Fantasy. So maybe, and I got Dragon's Dogma on PlayStation, so maybe I'll see how that runs on Portal. The answer will probably be not well. To be honest. The answer will probably be not well. King Dad with a $2 dono. Thank you, Jake from State Farm. Agreed. If there's only one thing we can take away from this stream, it's thank you, Jake from State Farm.
That's exactly what we need to take away from the stream.
Thank you. Outgo God with a £2 dono. No message, just first dono. Thank you so much. Yeah, thumb up. I'm gonna give it a thumb up too. I like that I can thumb up donations now. Everyone's getting thumbs up. I don't know if you can do anything with those, if you even know I'm doing it, but I'm thumbing up your donos. SVS Guru, €2. Matt Pat was a mascot. Well, he was just a man.
That was just a man.
That'd be like saying Yahtzee's a mascot. He's just a man. He's just the man who makes the thing.
Right. Theoretically, we could call his little cartoon a mascot, maybe, but not really.
But that's the thing.
That's the thing. Yeah. Right. That's not necessarily a mascot.
A mascot's there to like promote the other things, like when Benny the Bull would come out during Bulls games. People aren't there to see Benny the Bull. They're there to see Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman. But Benny the Bull doing his flips and his tricks.
Gotta do his flips and tricks. Absolutely.
God, people go to love halfway through a basketball game. I'm like, I've seen enough bouncing. I want to see a flip and I want to see a trick, especially if you're a anthropomorphic bull.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Exactly.
Flips, tricks, and bulls.
Yeah. Andrew Hickenbottom with a £2 dono. Thank you so much. We're just normal men. We're just innocent men.
One of the strangest viral memes in the world. A meme I do not understand, and I have looked for answers.
Oh, I've watched like a supercut. So it's like a normal show, like a morning show, and it's like a human woman, and then the dog puppet.
Yeah.
They just like chat about stuff, and the dog puppet says silly things, and the human woman just breaks often. So it's very funny.
But like, why? I don't understand why you said we're just normal men. I don't get the.
Joke. No, I don't know either. But I just think it's funny. Yeah, I just think it's funny. I don't get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Cupcake Edge, 99 dono. That's when you like get really close to eating a cupcake and then you stop. You're like, oh, I'm gonna have some. No, I'm not gonna.
You just sniff the frosting.
Yeah. Cupcake gooning. $99 dono. That's a big one. That's a yellow one. Yes, more Jack and Marty. Elden Ring. The jar playthrough is one of my favorite things to fall asleep to. Cannot wait to watch you play the DLC. Oh, we'll be streaming so much of the DLC coming this summer. You'll get sick of it. You're gonna eat those words, Cupcake Edge. By the time it comes out in June, by the time September rolls around, you'll be like, please play other video game. And we will say no.
No. We refuse.
No, we need to find Mikola.
I'm very interested in reading about how they are leveling the DLC, because it's not only like it will be based off of your rune level as well, not just kind of like where it's supposed to be in the game. So it will have a bit of a dynamic difficulty.
Interesting.
To make sure that anyone, can obviously like if you beat Moog, which everyone assumes is the way into the DLC,
sure,
you have to be at a pretty dang high level anyway. But very, very interesting.
That is absolutely going to have an infinite egg.
Oh, there goes
the DLC by getting in the infinite egg.
There's that infinite egg.
The sleeper's egg. George Lucas with 100 bits. Thank you so much, George. We talked about the best decade the other day on stream. So what say you? The 80s versus 90s for movies and music. Jack, I guess separately. Like what's your favorite movie decade and what's your favorite music decade?
I mean,
I said I don't have that much of an attachment to the 80s.
yeah. Yeah, I was born in the 80s, which means that
Sure.
like my childhood didn't really begin until the early 90s, right?
Yeah.
Oh, pardon. So I also don't have a huge attachment to the 80s. My music tastes didn't really like solidify until the early aughts, is what I will say. So like a lot of the music that I find myself listening back to is that music that I found in the late 90s, early aughts.
Mm.
The
Formative years.
like I'm right out of high school. I'm at the tail end or right out of high school, finding my way in the world, that sort of thing. But best decade. That's so. No, I refuse. I refuse. That's right.
I didn't even realize we could do that.
I
didn't know.
I'm gonna refuse because it's every decade has its own thing. Like we learn from past decades. There's beautiful music and movies being made right now. There's movies being made right now that would not be possible in the 80s. As much as we can like look back and
like
joke.
Ghostbusters. Dune.
Here's the thing. I was going to talk about Dune because like we can joke about like Lynch's Dune, but Lynch's Dune sucked. Like, come on.
I rewatched it the other week before the new one. I love David Lynch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at least it's still fun to stay up late.
Like, they did not have the means to make Dune. And for anyone who's seen the documentary Jodorowsky's Dune, if that motherfucker would have made Dune, it would have been a nightmare. It would have been
People would have died.
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't make Dune because he was an unreasonable artist.
Yes, yeah, that man.
Very good way. He's very creative, but
unhinged.
Yes, truly unhinged. He would have killed our sweet baby Chalamet.
Oh God. Oh yeah. He would have killed. He would have killed your love for Dune.
Yeah.
And so, like, the fact that we can have Dune now and fully realize Dune's potential, come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? You tell me the 80s are better? Yeah, fuck that.
I that got brought up by me saying it feels like the aughts, the teens, and now the 20s lack an identity to them. At least when, like, I'm just like curious what a period. We're starting to get like period pieces from the 2000s and stuff. Like Madam Web tried to be like I guess it tried to be a late 90s period piece, but it is one of those things. Like it feels like up through the 80s, it was very easy. You could be like, oh, this is a 70s thing, and you could just look at it, you could listen to it, and be like a 70s thing, like an 80s thing, and it just feels like what is going to be that for the 2000s, for the 10s, like. Unless you get into like, well, it's just post 9/11 and it's surveillance state and it's like war on terror, and I'm like, well, that's not the stuff I'm thinking about. That's not like a visual aesthetic, or an oral aesthetic.
And that's I think that's going to be a more interesting conversation as we get later down the line because that is the start of the era of corporate media. Of media taking over the identity of our art. And so it's an era in which they stopped having movie stars. They stopped making new things in an effort to make the safe regurgitative bet, which now we've gotten to a point where it's eating itself and people are clamoring for anything that is not
Well, and the rise of the internet and social media at large, and just being able to make something and get it out there means that like there is no centralized pop culture anymore.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about the music, is that there is nothing everyone gathers around like a Thriller or something like that. There's even the same thing with movies. The movies that do well are like seem to be forgotten about and aren't things that are talked about for years and years, just because there's so much. Like even when you look at TV ratings, you look at like the biggest shows on TV, like Succession, and then you look at their ratings and you're like, fucking any episode of Mad About You got like 10 times the viewership in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everything feels very, very segmented. And I think that's why you get that kind of tribalism in pop culture. And then people get mad if everyone feels kind of defensive about what they like and feel like they need to go to war for their corporate enjoyment. It's all very strange.
Oh, absolutely. But it's also like, it's very true. Like we are hitting a point in which, you know, like a popular YouTuber is getting more eyeballs on it than a blockbuster.
Really? Yeah.
Right.
Especially like with younger generation. I'm sure you see with your kids, like the stuff your kids are probably interested in, like are just like, you know, you're like, what is going on the internet? Like there's these people who I'm like, I've never heard of this person. Then you look, you're like, oh, they're a million times more famous than Yahtzee is. Who is this person? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that is going to be the new zeitgeist, and the new zeitgeist is not a zeitgeist at all.
No.
Which can be frightening, especially for us, and we're part of our job is, you know, zeitgeist commentary.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, like
that is what we do. Yeah. If we are silent on a big game, it's kind of like, that's weird. Why isn't anyone playing blank?
Yeah.
That's why we're always like, we got the Helldivers. We're talking about Balatro.
Yeah, you got to talk about the big thing. So there was a point here.
Decades not having identities.
Oh yeah,
pop culture being fragmented.
The nice thing though is we are in a state where so many people are clamoring for new things that I believe it's starting to break through. Like I think one of the reasons why like the biopic is coming back is because at least it's not another regurgitated thing.
Yeah.
You know, for a while, people were making biopics about product picks, right?
Yeah.
Because at least it wasn't
biopics. BUY. Biopics. That wasn't me. I believe I heard that from Darren first. It was very good.
I mean, Darren is very good.
Yeah, and then he probably apologized after he said it. I'm like, Darren, you don't apologize. That was very good.
Never apologize for
you bow to no one. Someone edit Darren and Return to the King.
You bow to no one.
Yeah.
So we're getting there, and you know we have enough kind of independent artists who are still working hard to make bullshit. You know, fucking what was there? Emma Stone in Poor Things, right? Like
yeah.
You got Mr. Lobster making a splash at the Emmys or the thing.
Oscars. Yeah. And her was like, I'll do Cruella, so I get the power to do this.
Yeah.
And that was like Cruella was the Disney movie, and this was under, I believe, Fox Searchlights, which is under Disney. So like that is I will use my shitty 101 Dalmatians movie in order to help get this thing funded. Which is good. I like that stars are doing that, of being like, I'm going to do the weird thing, so then I'm going to do the boring thing, so I have the power to do the cool thing.
Absolutely. And so like I want to believe, whether it's true or not, I want to believe we are hitting a point of equilibrium in which we will start getting more interesting weird shit. Mm-hmm. If at all, like it's very possible like that corporate execs are like, hey, the interesting weird shit is what people are talking about. So at very least, it's free advertising.
Yeah.
But that could just be me being optimistic. But I'll take it.
I like that optimism.
Yay.
Yellow Jello with a $2 dono. Jack, will we ever see a return of Underdeveloped?
Probably not. While I did very much enjoy Underdeveloped, never found its audience. And obviously, like I'm very busy making other shows now.
That was a pre-Adventurous Night project, right?
Oh yeah. That was Underdeveloped.
That was a pre-me project.
That was pre-you. That's true. That was pre-you. That was the first thing that I pitched. Nick, Nick put out an open call for submissions for the Escapist, and I was like, I want to keep talking about video games. And so I pitched him this dumb show where I talked about random bullshit, and that was Underdeveloped.
The end.
And no one watched it. And
so every single one of you is to blame.
Yeah.
Except for Yellow Jello, because you get money. Yeah. So that means you probably watched it. It'd be funny if you said, "I want it back." I've never seen it, but I just want it back.
I heard good things.
I just want it. And I'm kidding. I'm sure probably a lot of its audience is currently watching this stream, which we appreciate. But that was probably most of its audience.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, just didn't find the right audience. And like I consider, and I think like what we have turned bite-sized into is more of mini video essays, which is exactly what I was doing for Underdeveloped. And so if I have a weird idea, I'll just make another bite size, like what my the Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate. Yeah. Baldur's Gate.
So
Humane Shield. 199 dono. Jack, have you watched Star Trek Lower Decks?
No.
Is that the animated?
That's the animated one. No.
Yeah.
I've
never watched it, but I edited every single one of Darren's recaps, so I just feel like by osmosis I've learned a lot about it.
You 100% have.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I've not watched a new Star Trek. I've not watched a new Star Wars, and I've never been happier.
Have you watched Shogun?
I have not watched Shogun. I don't know.
What it's so good. There was like a spoiler, and I'm not going to spoil it, but my God, we got to a recent episode, and I'm like, Shogun, what are you doing? In a good way. I was like, I didn't know you could do that in Shogun.
What are you doing?
Shogun. Shogun's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, I might like that. No, I'm trying very hard not to. I'm trying very hard not to watch the regurgitated things. Now, I've heard very good things about Lower Decks, about like giving that classic next gen feel. Next gen being the one, the Star Trek that I really enjoyed. But I don't want to. I don't want to support that kind of regurgitation. So no, I'm not going to watch it. So there, you can't.
There you go. Beautiful.
You can't make me. You can't make me.
Can't make them.
Stop trying to make them.
Try to make them. You're not gonna be able to make them. Andrew Hickenbottom, 2-pound dono. Favorite Evangelion angel waifu Zerul here. I like the one that's like a couple diamonds on top of each other, or like a trapezoid, heptazoid, octazoid,
trapdozoid.
What would you call like a flying 8-sided diamond? Like what shape is that?
A trapdozoid is what I would call it, because that's what you just said, and I thought it was funny.
Oh, okay. I thought I was right, and then it just turned out it made you smile.
Yeah, I mean, you could be
and
right.
Sometimes that is being right. I like that one. I like the one that's a couple of diamonds, and I like the one that's just its shadow is its thing, and its thing is its shadow. I thought that one was cool too, because I didn't get it, but I thought it was cool. And honestly, I'm at a point with art where I don't care about getting it. I just want it to be cool, except for Tenet, which I rewatched, and let me tell you, I didn't get it, and I also didn't think it was cool.
Tenet makes me legitimately upset. I don't want to summon.
Tune in soon for a Darren video on Tenet.
Tenet. Okay, like here's the thing, everybody. Here's the rule. Here's the really important rule. It doesn't matter if your thing like makes logical sense within the confines of your world. It doesn't matter if like it's a really interesting idea. If it looks stupid, it's stupid.
The fight scenes, very dumb.
The fight scenes in Tenet, sure, yeah, they're interesting. They look stupid. It looks childish.
Which I get, because it's one of those, he was probably so close to it.
Yeah.
And then he got to a certain point, and maybe they were like in an editing bay, and he's like, does this look dumb? And no one had the heart to be like, it looks really dumb.
It looks like really dumb, right?
Like, why is this? No, it's his inertia. His inertia is moving backwards. Like, what does that mean?
Like, even if that makes sense, it looks stupid. Like, like as the resident defender of The Last Jedi, which I do and will defend at all times.
Absolutely, completely agree.
Leia doing the Peter Pan fly in outer space looks dumb.
Looks dumb. Looks very dumb.
Oh, yeah, great. She used the Force to save herself. She looks dumb.
Looks very dumb.
Yeah. So if it looks dumb, it is dumb. That's the rule. And I'm sorry, Tenet. I don't care how interesting you are. You look dumb.
It looks like a dumb and sounds like a dumb. It's probably a dumb.
It's probably dumb.
Shout out to Michael Caine.
I apologize,
I think
Darren.
Michael Caine's bummed that he's like, Christopher, I've retired from acting. I can't do another. And then the movie wins all the Oscars. The one he doesn't do. He's been in like every fucking Christopher Nolan movie, and he was probably like, "Hey, do you want to be an Oppenheimer? You could be one of these old fucks out in the desert." He's like, "Christopher, I've retired," and then that movie won an Oscar. He could have won an Oscar.
He could have won an Oscar. I think my hot take is he actually was not invited to be an Oppie. And which, by the way, I know that Oppie was Oppenheimer's real nickname. It's dumb.
Yeah, also dumb.
When everyone
That
calls
wasn't that's not Christopher Nolan's fault. That's Oppenheimer's fault for not being like, that's a dumb nickname. I don't want you to call me that.
I don't want you to call me that. Like every time someone called him Oppie in Oppenheimer, a movie I genuinely love, it was dumb and I didn't like it.
Yeah. Cupcake Edge. Did
What?
you have more? Did you have anything else to get out in Oppenheimer?
No.
Any more bombs to drop on us?
No more Oppenheimer. Oh, fuck. Nice one. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry that I didn't get that in time.
Yeah, that's it. Listen, we all have our sob moments. This is my sob story. Cupcake Edge, $1.99 dono. Jack, checking out Flummoxed and Others by None.
Okay.
Others by No One, excuse me. Flummox and Others by No One. Checking out or Jack checkout? Do you know what Flummox and Others by No One are? Maybe that was our bands.
They could be bands.
These might have been from when we were talking about bands.
I don't necessarily know what you're talking about.
They were probably about bands. We're a little ways behind. Okay, we're gonna get through these. We're gonna get through these because we're legally at the end of the stream, but we're illegally gonna keep reading these. 200 bits from Lampy. Thank you so much. How is the Dono goal going to release Casey's essay on Gurren Lagann? It's doing great. Casey, in a meeting today, we just met, and he said, guys, I'm only focused on this Gurren Lagann essay. And Jack was like, what about the remasters of seasons 1 and 2 of Adventurous Nigh? And he said, fuck you, Jack. I only want to write about my robots.
Yeah.
And so that's where we're at. Yeah.
That's exactly
I think they're
how
robots. I'm not 100% sure. I watched that first episode, and it was very late at night, and I don't even know what's going on in that show. SBS Guru, 5-year-old don't know. My favorite genre is fantasy versus modern military. Wizards and dragons getting shredded by anti-air missiles and artillery never gets old.
There's not that many in that genre, as far as I know.
Rain of Fire.
Huh?
Remember Rain of Fire with
Matthew McConaughey and Christian
Christian Bale?
Fuck yeah, I do. Yeah. That's a good one. Like, do we consider kaiju? Like, is that Godzilla? Like,
could be Godzilla. Yeah.
Is that Godzilla or like Dragon Wars?
Oh.
This is not a very meaty genre that you have chosen to love, but no. I'm with you, by the way.
Yeah.
I also dig that kind of shit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Quintuple A with a $4.99 dono. Here's another dono. Too bad the stream can't last longer. You know what they say? All good things must end. But all bad things could go on forever.
That's also true, yeah.
That's also true. CSI Freak with a $9.99 dono. Here's a few pennies because I love a Jack and Marty stream. Marty, is there any homework before Darren's next stream? Last time I watched GoldenEye, from all the other chat, I feel like I might need to rewatch The Matrix. Yes. It won't be next week, but possibly the following week, first week of April, we might be back doing a similar thing to what we did with GoldenEye when everyone was gone for The Matrix. And also we'll have news on when our entertainment weekly show will be resuscitating.
Nice.
It is in the works. We're going to be chatting about that. But yes, if you would like to play along, watch the film The Matrix. It's about to turn 25. Old enough to rent a car.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great. It'll be a lot of fun to play that old game and laugh at its jank in general. Because I'm sure it is very jank.
You know what shocked me? Darren knew everything about GoldenEye, the game, and was just explaining to me how to finish missions.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did I fail the mission? And he's like, oh, you didn't blow up each one of the containers. You only blew up like 4 of them. And I was like, Darren, how are you better at video games than me as well?
Marty, we were watching the VOD of that stream while we were signing all the Blu-ray covers, and we all had a hearty laugh at how much Darren knew more than you.
It was shocking.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with being the worst at video games of the video game people.
Yeah.
But like, Darren, what are we doing?
Darren, as it turns out, is just good at most things.
He's just good at everything. I'm assuming he hasn't played this way. I don't know. Maybe it's like every game I pull out, he's gonna have like a Slumdog Millionaire moment where he's like, "Oh yeah, this meant a lot to me, and I played this a ton in college or whatever."
How does he find the time?
Yeah, there's several Darrens. That's why he loves Christopher Nolan, is because in the Prestige, he looked at that and he's like, "I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna prestige myself."
He's prestiged all over the place.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Blue McDee's nuts with a $2 dono. Do not watch Tablin Titler Gaggin Lauren. That is Gurren Lagann's full name. Well, that is a goof on Gurren Lagann's full name.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine. I would explain it to you, but I'm not even sure how to explain it. But I just know that was a goof. I believe it was a reference to maybe a podcast we did, but there's no way to know.
There's no way to know.
I forgot goofs from earlier this stream. There's no way I'm going to remember goofs from podcasts. Cupcake Edge, going back to those recommendations of Flummox and others by no one. Both metal bands formed by amazing trans women. There you go. So Flummox and others by no one.
Great. I really dig metal. So I am often on the lookout for good new metal bands.
George Lucas with 100 bits. Do we think we will get to fight Marika herself in the DLC? I would like to see more Flame of Frenzy stuff. Have you put in any like lore thoughts into it? Have you watched any like lore breakdowns of what people think is going on?
No, I know VOTY has a thing out as far as the lore implications and other bullshit, and really it's just people guessing. Like, come on.
Yeah.
At this point, we're all just guessing.
Yeah.
I mean, technically speaking, we already fought Marika. Like, that was the fight. That's the whole point of it, is we did fight Marika. Because much like, Ace Ventura, not aged correctly, Marika is Radagon? Radagon is Marika? Marika is Radagon!
Do you think Miyazaki was a big Ace Ventura fan?
100%.
Yeah. Couple of...
did you freeze, Marty? I believe Marty froze, so I have to end the stream because he has run out of internet. It is 2 hours, and Marty has frozen in my screen. But by the way, if you're gonna freeze, if you're gonna freeze in a pose, that's the pose to freeze in. Look at how happy he is. Look at because that's at the end of the day, we enjoy doing this. We love playing games and talking and goofs and spoofs. And so it's just look at how happy Marty is. I think that's beautiful. I think that's really beautiful. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching this. Let's all, get ready together to do that Elden Ring DLC. Remember, if you are an Adventure is Nigh fan, the Adventure is Nigh card game based off of the Red Dragon Inn. The Red Dragon Inn, by the way, this is not only an expansion for the Red Dragon Inn, it is also its own game. So, if you buy just the Adventures Nigh version, that is just a game. If you already have past Red Dragon Inn versions, you can intermix them. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So, only a week left on that Kickstarter, so hop up on that. What else? Usually we say what's coming up, but I don't necessarily know what's coming up later on because Marty's not here, and Marty usually has that information. Oh, no! Ooh, look at that. Huh? Here, I'll talk in this one. Oh, that's fun. I like that. I like that a lot. It's snowing a lot. Hold on here. I'll come down and be Marty's. Ooh, there we go. Egghead. So this is what's happening. Thanks everybody for coming to the stream. Remember, if you like what you see here, head over to our Patreon. Give us money. We always appreciate that because that's what we live off of. We have some exciting announcements coming up. A ton of Adventures Nigh stuff that I would love to talk about. And I'll stream more because I'll do that. But bye.